All right, I had a question on one of my videos about dodger speed, how fast I'm trolling them, how fast you can troll them. And they're specifically asking about the Nebo tackle dodger that I was using. It was the purple one of these Barracuda blades. So I tested, man, I just spent a long time testing dodgers. I still had lures out there fishing, but didn't catch anything. But so I want you to comment. Please don't cheat. Comment and tell me what one you think will run the fastest. I'm going to really quickly run through these. So there's the Nebo Tackle Company Cyclops blade. Their Barracuda blade. I did a Paulina Peak, just their regular dodger. Can't remember the name of it. And one of their skateboards. I did a Max Teardrop, both in an S bend and in the kind of the standard bend. I don't have all these that I tested, kind of the standard 3070 or 4060 bend. And I tested both a 4 1/4 and a 5 1/2 on the Max, and also on the Rocky Mountain Tackle. So same thing, S bend and the regular and Rocky Mountain tackles. And we're getting Dodgers galore. Skateboard and a Seps, an Avances tackle, and once again the Paulina Peak. I tested this little Crystal Basin tackle dodger, and I tested the Max Double D. I did not test it on the side planer settings, but I just tested it pulling straight, and I tested it both flat and with a 3070 bend in it. And then last, I tested the Yakima Fast Limit. So comment, tell me which one you think will run the fastest, and then without spinning, that's the test. Which one will keep dodging, you could say, back and forth up to the highest speed. And then also, which one do you think starts spinning at the slowest speed? So give you a second, get those comments in, pause the video. I'm really curious to see what you think. There's a few surprises. Okay, well, I'm going to start with the ones that started spinning at the slowest speeds, the one that doesn't surprise me too much, and that's these teardrops. If you put a hard S bend or a hard, goodness man, I got Dodgers everywhere, a hard, that's a terrible bend there, that is too, geez, a hard 3070 or kind of roughly 3070 or 4060 bend, they seemed about the same. So either way they were tuned, about 1.8 they started spinning. Drop back down to 1.7, they seem to correct. Now if you run them flat, once again, the 4 1/4, the 5-inch, didn't seem to matter which brand, they would run up to about 2 before they'd start spinning. So there we go. The other one on the slow end that kind of surprised me, 2 different styles, about 1.8 was the skateboard. All the skateboards across the board, about 1.8, 1.9, started spinning, and they corrected slower. So the teardrops, like as soon as you drop back down in like that 1.7 zone, it seems like they'd quit spinning and start thumping. These seem to want to keep spinning more. I'd have to drop back down to like 1.5, like 1.6 minimum, but even 1.5 to get them to correct. So I felt like that was a disadvantage, and I was kind of surprised on all the skateboards that they did that. The Crystal Basin tackle, about 1.8, 1.9 started spinning, dropped back down to 1.7, and it corrected pretty easily. Now, then the Paulina Peak, their standard Dodger, 1.8, 1.9, maybe a hair faster than those teardrops when they have a really good bend in them. But how much of a bend did you put in them? That's the thing. But this one just straight would start spinning about that 1.8, 1.9 speed. Double D, as you can tell, there's like, it's pretty tight. That 1.8 to 1.9 or 1.8 to 2 is when most things started spinning. Actually, we're going to hold that one. The Barracuda blade from Nebo Tackle, once in that same zone, 1.8, 1.9. The Cyclops blade seemed to go a hair faster, like 1.9 to 2, and then it would start spinning. Then the Double D, it would start spinning at, oh my gosh, I need to look at my notes. Okay, I remember now. If it's straight, because I tested it twice, that's what was throwing me off. If it was flat, it'd go a little faster. You could go 2 miles an hour. And then the same thing as those teardrop dodgers, you tune it and put a bend in it, and get a harder thump at those slow speeds, but then it would start spinning at that 1.8, 1.91. And then our Victor for the fastest without spinning is this Yakima Fast Limit. So maybe that's why they call it the Fast Limit, is because it'll go fast. It would go up to like 2.4 before it starts spinning. It does have the most subtle action at those slower speeds, at that 0.9 to 1.5, kind of that typical kokanee speed. Now the Rainbow Trout speeds, 1.5 to 1.8, it was pretty good. But that is the rundown on the Dodgers. All of them, as I expected, were right in that 1.8 to 2 for the most part, when they'd start spinning, and really just the flat teardrops, the flat Double D, they'd get right up to 2. The Double D, with it being dead flat, easily would do 2 miles an hour. And then the Fast Limit from Yakima, it went 0.4 mile an hour faster than all the rest. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you want me to test any other gear and give you a rundown on what I see. Obviously this isn't a crazy scientific test, but it is dead calm. It was an easy day to really hit those exact speeds with the electric, and I did my best to test it all out and see what was what, and hopefully you like it. If you have any questions, once again, hit the comments. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel, and we'll catch you later and fish on.